In an earlier video in this IIS 7 series, we installed PHP and we've configured IIS so that IIS 7 was able to deliver our PHP content. Then we also installed MySQL on the same machine, since those two applications pretty much go hand in hand. However, another very popular piece of software is PHPMyAdmin, which is a web-based front end for managing MySQL. So let's see how we can go about installing it on IIS 7. So on my desktop here, I've already gone ahead and I've downloaded and extracted the files required for PHPMyAdmin. And if I go to my Internet Explorer here, I've already fired up the web page where you'll need to go if you want to download those files yourself. So point your browser here to phpmyadmin.net/homepage downloads.php, and you'll need to download the appropriate file. And in my case, I've downloaded this third file here, phpMyAdmin version 3.13 english.zip, and I've simply extracted all of the files from this zip file to this folder here on my desktop. Now, one of the first things you'll want to remember is that PHPMyAdmin is web driven, so it needs to be made available through a website in IIS 7. So you can create a new website just for PHPMyAdmin or use another one that you might have already created. That's entirely up to you. So I'm going to use our default website. So let's open up Windows Explorer and we'll head off to our C drive, inetpub, then the www root folder. And I'm going to take my PHPMyAdmin folder and we'll copy that and we'll paste that right inside our www root folder. Now we're going to go and open up our IIS 7 console and we'll expand our server here, SO5, and sites, and then our default website. And there's our PHPMyAdmin folder, so let's right click on that and we're going to choose Convert to Application, and we can simply accept the defaults here as they are and just click OK. Now we'll select our default website, and in the middle of our console we're going to scroll down a bit and we'll double click on Default Document, and on the right here we'll click Add, and since we're dealing with PHP we're going to add in the index.php file and we'll click OK. Now the next step is for us to create a folder, or at least use an existing folder, where we can store our temporary PHP session. So I'd prefer to create a new one for that. So we'll go back to Windows Explorer and we'll go to the root of our C drive, but you could certainly place this wherever you like. So I'm going to right click and we'll create a new folder and we'll give it a name. Now the name itself isn't terribly important, you can call it whatever you like, so I'm going to call this one PHP Sessions. That way we can identify what we created it for later on. Now the other thing you'll want to ensure is that this folder is given the appropriate permissions that it needs so that it's accessible. So we're going to right click on it. At the bottom we'll choose Properties, then we'll select the Security tab, and then we'll click Edit. Now we'll click Add, then Advanced and Find Now. And then we'll need to add in a few accounts here. We'll add in the IIS iUsers, iUser, and the network service. And we'll click OK, OK again. And then we're going to give these guys full control to this folder. And then we'll click OK, and OK one more time. Now, whilst I've still got Windows Explorer open here, let's go to our PHP folder, which I installed in an earlier video, and we installed it into this folder here called PHP. Now in here we're going to find this php.ini file, which we've seen before, so we'll double click on it and that'll open it up, as there's a couple more edits we need to make here. So we'll hit Control F and that'll bring up our Find dialog box, and we're going to type in session and we'll click Find Next. And this line here is what we're looking for, session save path, and it's currently defaulting to our Windows/temp folder. So we're going to change that to our PHP sessions folder, which of course lives on the root of my C drive. Now finally we'll scroll all the way down to the bottom and we'll need to ensure that we have the appropriate extensions enabled, and those are this GD2, the MB string, and finally our MySQL extensions. So if they don't look like you see in my PHP ini file, then it's likely that you didn't install the extensions when you installed PHP. So if that's the case, all you need to do is run the PHP installation wizard again, choose change, and then add in these 3 extensions, and then you'll be good to go. Alright, well the final step is to modify our PHPMyAdmin configuration file. So let's just quickly save this and we can close this now. So we'll go to our C drive, inetpub, www root, then our PHPMyAdmin folder, and we're going to double click on this file here, config.sample.inc.php, and we'll choose to open this up with WordPad. Now the first thing we'll need to do is enter in a password or passphrase here, and this is for our cookie-based authentication to work, and you can pretty much enter in anything you like here as long as it's using alphanumeric characters. So I'm just going to enter in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for my lab purposes here, and we're going to scroll down a little bit further again. In fact, we'll scroll right down to the bottom. And what we're looking for is these 2 lines here under our advanced features. We'll firstly need to uncomment these lines out by removing these 2 slashes. And then we'll need to change the password field here from its default of PMA pass to something else. So let's just enter in a password of, say, Winstructor. And our last step here is to uncomment out all of these following lines, all the way from PHPMyAdmin through to PMA Designer Coords. So let's just remove all of these comments here. Alright, that's done, so we'll need to save this file. And now we can go test our work. So let's go to Internet Explorer and we'll navigate to our server here, which is SO5. And then we're looking for the subdirectory, which is PHPMyAdmin, and then the index file. And we'll hit enter, and there you go. PHPMyAdmin has been installed, configured, and we're all ready to log in. So we hope you've enjoyed this video, and would like to thank you for watching.